Joining us now on the Oakland County MegaCast, Stacie René, motivational strategy speaker and mindset life coach. Good morning, Stacie. I will tell you, you're like a bolt of energy for us in the morning. So I'm happy that we're starting off with you. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. I'm thrilled to be here. And, I am experiencing a lot of what the other parents are going through right now. And, how we're going to handle this situation is all up to us.
So, in kind of going off of that, if parents are stressed, their kids can feel it. They pick up on their energy. What are some easy ways for parents to manage their stress so that then they can share that with their kids?
Right. So if you really want to see how you are, I want you to step back and look at your children. Are they stressed? Are they not wanting to go back to school? Are they feeling very negative? Step back and see where they're getting that from, because they're taking those emotions because they're afraid too. And if you are all frazzled, you don't really have a plan, they are going to follow lead. And when the first day of school comes, which is right around the corner, and some have already started, they're going to be feeling that too. So the best steps is really to get a schedule. I know that, again, I'm in the same boat. I have an elementary and a middle school, children, and I am putting a schedule together. They are getting up just like they would normal. They're going to eat breakfast. They are going to have their lunch packed the night before, and I'm putting a conference room table into the living room so they're not distracted, because it's really how you set the tone and how you're going to handle this for your kids. So be prepared. And I know I can say be prepared, but sometimes parents don't know how to be prepared. So get a schedule, make sure that there's breaks in there. And a lot of that's going to align with the school schedule and their classrooms, depending on what age level that your children are at. And really just setting the tone and being mindful and having, a positive attitude about all of this.
We're speaking with Stacie René, motivational strategy speaker and mindset life coach. You are also the author of the book, Positive Shift Ahead. As parents and students navigate this back to school time, which is going to look so much different than what we went through back in March and April because it was so new. Students are going to have to attend these classes, whether they're virtual or in person. Attendance is going to be taken. So what do you say to the kids to help them manage their stress? And do you have any mantras? I know you kind of like to start your day with positive sayings. Does that really work, or is it just all a bunch of hoopla hopla?
It does. And for those who may or may not work out, those who do work out and then they stop, they physically feel the difference. And it is going to be hard, because who doesn't love being in bed? Bed is a great place to be, and you're all cozy, warm, and to get up and knowing that you have to go to school, just like parents, they have to go to work. And sometimes it's a struggle. But if you get up and you start your day off positive, whether you put a little sticky note with a mantra or an affirmation saying, I am awesome, successful, and smart. I succeed at what I put my mind to, and just start out positive. And I know those days are really a struggle, because listen, I have them too. It's not all sunshine, roses, and butterflies on this end too, but it's all in how I handle it. And I've literally had to stop myself and say, whoa, 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 this is not going to go the way I want it to. Redirect, get my thoughts together, and refocus. And I'm telling you, just like that, you can snap it back into position of how you want to be. So get up when you're brushing your teeth, because I know everybody probably brushes their teeth. Just have your toothbrush and say a positive mantra. Again, I am awesome, successful, and smart. I succeed at what I put my mind to. And then another one is, every day in every way, I am better, better, and better. Every day in every way, I am better, better, and better. And if you start to get those negative feelings, or school is starting to get really, really stressed, take a moment, get up, walk around. And if you can just do like even 5-10 minutes of some sort of exercise in the morning, get yourself awake. And the most important, don't fill your morning with a lot of sugar. because that will just will take you down. And I think that we forget to do that because we're a grab and go, let's go, especially with this new way of living and this changes. But here's the thing. Life is constantly going to be giving us changes, and how we adapt and how we change it now is going to show how we have other things in life. And I think that this may be a good situation for these kids to understand that, because listen, when they go to college, when they go to their first job, they're going to encounter coworkers who give them a lot of crap or give them a run for their money. And if they don't experience some of these major life experiences and changes and hardships, they're not going to be able to know how to handle them in the future. So I think it's always good for us to be mindful of that. And again, use mantras, go for a walk, take a break when you need it. And, you know, a little exercise and just mental mindset is really going to set the tone for every day.
Stacie Zadkovich with us, Stacie René with us, my apologies, the motivational strategy speaker and mindset life coach with us on the Oakland County Megacast. So then, Stacie, after those bad days, because everybody has them, and sometimes they have multiples of them in a row. After those days, what are your suggestions for people to cope with those and remotivate for going forward?
Listen, you are in control of your day. Just like if somebody says something to really kind of get underneath your skin, you can allow them to continue to do that, or you can be like, you know what? I'm not going to allow that, and you can control the outcome. So if you're having a bad day over and over and over, that's on you. You need to stop, write down a couple of things that you're grateful for, look at the things that you have, and understand that, yes, we all are going through changes. Reach out to somebody who could really give you a little pick-me-up. Call me. I don't care. Send me a text. I have people do that all the time. I'm really kind of having a bad day. And, you know, get yourself out of that mindset. Turn some music on. Start dancing. If that is the quickest, easiest way, raise your arms up and say, woo, and dance around for like one whole song. Put your favorite song on. And I'm telling you, that will just shift your mindset within seconds. And if you need to do that over and over and over, you can do that. The other thing is if you are catching yourself in a negative spiral down, stop yourself, breathe deep, and say, cancel, clear, delete. Cancel, clear, delete. Cancel, clear, delete. I am awesome, successful, and smart. I succeed at what I put my mind to. And say that 3 times. Again, you are 100% in control of your own feelings and emotions. And it's the point of grabbing them before they take you down so far. And I'm going to tell you all, I have been on my hands and knees in tears in the same situation as a lot of people have been in. And I will tell you, I have dealt with this with my own children, and they're catching on and they're snapping themselves out of it. And my son, who has been going through some emotional distress because he doesn't know what the school year is going to be like, he's like, oh, all right, I've got this. And so he's starting to automatically say his affirmations and get himself out. So now his times where he's not feeling so positive, it's starting to shift and change. And I'm noticing a difference. So again, you have to really catch it. Get a book, write it down every day, get yourself in a system, a schedule, put a little sticky note, have your affirmations, and put music on. Those things will really snap you out. And again, if you're having a negative tone and you're being the virus to everybody else, you need to maybe pull off on that, because other people are going to feed off of that. So just be mindful of all those little things that you're encountering on your own.
Stacie René, motivational strategy speaker and mindset life coach. Your book is a very easy read, Positive Shift Ahead. Some people may be watching this and listening to this interview, and they have that moment of motivation. I am going to do this. They start on these affirmations, but we are creatures of habit. And within 2 to 3, 4 days, we're right back into our old habits. How do you stick with this to make it a permanent life change?
Absolutely. And thank you for bringing up my book. It is an intentional, easy read. And there are tools and tips that you can, mark the page, put a little sticky, and go back to it. I've had several people say, I went to give the book away, but I need to keep it because I actually refer to it often. And, the first thing is when you're driving and you need to keep yourself in check. Every time your blinker goes off, think of something positive. Every time you see a red light, think of something positive. Change your negative to a positive, or say something that you're grateful for, right? Every time your cell phone goes off, think of something positive. And it's about changing your habits, changing your roles. If anyone who is trying to eat healthier and live a healthier lifestyle, and all of a sudden you're in a habit of grabbing chips or cookies, and all of a sudden you go to grab it, it goes in your mouth, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm not supposed to be eating that. Stop right there and grab something healthier. And it's just the same thing as our mindset. You have to be mindful of that. So the blinker that you've got in your car, that's a great way, especially for parents who are driving to work every day, driving home, brushing your teeth. Use little signs that you have that will give you triggers. Your phone, friends, your phone is a big asset. If you can put something in there every day. And I have mindful tips that, all right, say this today, or, hey, what are the 3 things that you're grateful for? And that way it starts to retrain and refocus your daily habits. And again, look for little things. The blinker, again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but sometimes you need to hear things to remember. A red stop sign, your cell phone when it rings, or every time you get a text message. Think of a positive thought. Think of something that you're grateful for. And those will help you constantly be in remembrance of being motivated and happy, positive.
So, Stacie, I have to say, if I'm a parent, I'm kind of in survival mode right now. This all sounds great, but at the end of the day, it may not pay my bills. It may not help me with my kids and that decision with childcare. How can it really shift and change the outcome?
Look, if you're having a hard time paying your bills, and look, I get it. If you're wondering where your next paycheck's going to be, I get it. I'm going through the same thing. If you're wondering how you're going to be able to take care of your kids and where they're going to go, I get it. I'm in the same boat, and I am struggling right along with you. But if I add more stress to my already stressful situation, then guess what? I am not going anywhere because I'm not providing a solution to what I want to do for the outcome. You have to make an effort. It is so easy to automatically tend to go towards the negative, but you really have to make an effort. Just like when you eat, you have to make an effort to eat. You have to do something different. And to think that way, and let the more stress come in, guess what? You're going to stub your toe. You're going to have more bad things happen because you are so ingrained in the negative thoughts of your brain that that's what if that's what you're asking for, man, you are going to get it. If you start to shift your brain towards a little bit more positive, even though you may not necessarily feel it. And I know sometimes people say, oh my gosh, it will get better, or, things are going to change. And I'm like, if you told me that one more time, and I get it, because again, I experience a lot of things that I'm doing, but I can tell you, I am living proof that you can change it. I mentioned I was down on my hands and knees before. I literally stood up, said, I don't want to feel like this anymore, even though there was a whole area of things that I was going through. I stood up, I looked out the window, and I said, as of this moment, I am changing. I started saying affirmations and mantras. Even when I was sobbing, crying, I am awesome, successful, and smart, I succeeded when I put my mind to. And I would say that, and I'm putting a lot of energy into it because I needed a change. And in 1 week, I got the phone call it was less than 1 week, actually. It was 4 days. I got a phone call that I really needed, and I wouldn't let the negative thoughts to come in, and I needed to be in control. And again, you really have to think different. And if you don't think that thoughts are words, words are actions. So what you're putting out is what you're asking for. And that is something that we really have to be mindful of.
So great advice for not only parents, but students as well. So many times students or all of us are surrounded by other people, maybe not on our same energy level or negative people. And while you can't remove them, what's your advice to try to handle those people if you can't get away, especially students that want to be accepted? And even more so now than ever. Plus, they're on social media, and I think that adds to their anxiety level as well.
It does. And that's something that we always have to think of is the bullying aspect. And social media is really going to be taking people down. And I will tell you, it not only happens to students, but I've seen it happen to adults, grown adults. And the more energy that they put into everything that happens, and I wasn't invited here, or, oh my gosh, this friend is hanging out with this friend. Why wasn't I invited? Look, you don't have to be invited to everything. If they see that it doesn't bother you, then maybe they're just trying to get back at you or something. But you can't, it's kind of like the thing, never let them see you sweat. Remember that. And you are in control of your happiness. And I want you to remember the most important thing is your ego. If you can look at the definition of ego, it's really your self-esteem and how you're feeling about yourself and what you allow in. If you let your ego to say, I wasn't invited to that, or, oh my gosh, they're getting a better grade than I am, and they're advancing more than I am. Well, stop. Everybody has different learning techniques. Everybody has different social media things. And if you think that everything is all fine and dandy and they're putting all these wonderful things on social media, I got to tell you, there's a back door to all of this other things that they're not putting on. They're not saying that all this stuff is going on and that they're really hurting and they're very emotional inside. You know, don't believe anything you see, and only half of what you hear is what my mom and dad told me when growing up. And I will tell you that is so true. But if you feed into other people's social media, other people's stories, then you need to step back, check your ego, and be confident in who you are. Because you know what, at the end of the day, a year from now, you're going to be different. You're going to have different friends potentially. You're going to have different outcomes no matter what age that you're going to be. So if it really is getting you, I highly suggest that you just post what you want, but don't look at other stuff, because at that point, that means that you're kind of an emotional stressful situation, and you don't need to look at that. And I have done the same thing where I've just put things on just for my own records, for the feedback and the memories, but I haven't looked at what other people are posting, because I know that at that moment in my life, it was not healthy for me. And I'm telling you, it's already going on right now. I've seen it with the social media, with friends of friends who have said, how do I handle this? And I tell them the same thing. Sometimes you just have to step away from the social media and focus on yourself and how confident you are. And the number one thing, ego.
Stacie, René, you're always a jolt of positivity. Real quickly before we let you go, anything that we didn't touch on that you think is important for parents and students as well, especially you're a mother, you're going through this with your kids, that they need to know as they try to navigate this back to school time?
Yes. I mentioned before, but if there's a lot of stuff going on, this is all new for all of us. And if you are that virus, that negative virus, and other people are going to be feeding off of that, it's going to end up coming back and biting you. So if you can, just stop what you're doing, change your thoughts, change your mood, and listen, create a positive environment for not only yourself, but your children and other parents who maybe need that strength in you, and you will turn them around. And if you need to reach out, I am also a mindset life coach. Reach out to me. I would love to be able to give you some tools, some tips, and work with not only the parents, but the children when needed, to give them in that shifting mindset, to get them going and get them on the right path from the get-go. And that's the thing, is getting it from the beginning. And I'm available, so please make sure that you reach out to me at any point. I'd love to be an asset and helpful to anyone who's going through the struggles, because I'm a mom, I'm a parent, I'm a wife. I get it. I go through it.
thank you so much. Some morning motivation to get you going here on this Tuesday morning from Stacie René, motivational strategy speaker and mindset life coach. She has written the book Positive Shift Ahead and has an app. So if you're on the go, download her app, get her little affirmations, and set you and your kids in a positive mindset as we continue to try to navigate this back to school time. We're going to take a quick break here on the Oakland County Megacast, and when we come back, we are going to talk about that back to school plan and a principal as they navigate school or students returning to the classroom.